Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast.
Sure.
Out with the bad and in with the good, motherfuckers.
That's right.
Jessica.
Dana.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast. I am Dana Powell.
I'm Jessica Young. And
Hey,
we are here to
rant
and
and
rave
rave. Yay!
on a Sunday afternoon.
It's a Sunday, la 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 la. Well, guys, back at it. Crazy as ever. Real tired, Jessica, but that kind of tired where like I've been running on fumes the last few days, but every single day was back to back things. And as soon as you and I are done recording, I have a little break before tomorrow's one of the crazier, and then things lighten up, right? So I'm on this marathon, and therefore my brains are running at 9,000 miles an hour, faster than my mouth, faster than my reasoning. And so
I love your hair.
I'm glad you reminded me. For those of you watching us, because some of you are now, some explanation needs to be had. Yes, I realize I'm a grown woman, and yes, I am wearing piggy tails. No,
cute.
I was shooting for my children's show this morning.
Yes.
Those of you that have littles, please, I'll remind you again. I can't, Jessica, I'm so grateful. Like, she's just finding her people. This is the fastest growing thing I've ever had.
I love it.
People are falling in love with her, which I'm so glad because I'm in love with her. I do not see Dana in this character at all. And I'm just obsessed with her.
I do. And that's a compliment.
Do you?
Yes.
Well, thank you. It's growing really fast. So this morning I was shooting some stuff. We release a new episode every Saturday, but we've also a little bit like our model. We have shorts and things like that. So we are both mommies in real life, and we're kind of a two-man band. And so we had a chance to get our puppeteers, who were so lucky. We have professional Henson Muppet puppeteers.
Yep.
Because Jessica and I just know the coolest people in the world. We're just very lucky. I mean, we are so lucky, right?
Yes. And anyone that works for the Henson world, it's just, I really do geek out about that.
I do too. And I'm like, and I know these people, and I knew them when they weren't Henson, and now they are, and now I feel so cool. It's ridiculous.
That's fun.
It's ridiculous when you fan worship your own friends, but I do that a lot. But it's because our friends are so talented. Yes. Anyway, so I was shooting Zinnia stuff this morning for a while. So the hair is pretty set this way. And I was like, you could try to take it down, and then you're going to have like hat hair because I had a gardening hat. Yeah. So you guys get old lady in pigtails today.
You look adorable, and my favorite thing from your last episode was when you're welcoming people into the zoo, and the way your face lights up in your expression, and you turn around and hold onto your hat when you run. It is so cute. I watched it like 10 times in a row. I love it.
Oh my God. There's some
really,
stuff like,
really sweet.
You know, you can see how long people watch your content, like how far they get into it. And so there's some things that people don't quite make it to that we're like, oh, if you just hold on, there's a funny thing. And like in our shorts specifically, because shorts are made to just go swipe, swipe, swipe. So like today we posted the Stingray section. Well, the Stingray section goes, S is for Stingray, because we're exploring the alphabet in nature. And we had great footage of this Stingray. And so I read some facts about the Stingray, but at the end of the Stingray video, before it goes on to the next letter, he does that. Remember that? I think it was a German guy or Dutch guy or something, that video that went viral for the longest time. La 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 la. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely not.
Let me fast forward. Nope, here he comes. I don't want you to miss him. There he is.
Put the mic to the mic. Why? Who is he and why?
I don't know. That must have went around the comedy, like the sketch world. Maybe that's why you don't know it, because we were all obsessed with it. And his face gets creepier as it goes along. It's the happiest creepy face you've ever seen. And it's the la 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 la. So our little stingray came up the window and paused right in front of us and went la 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 la, because there was probably algae on there.
Out of control.
You know what that's gonna look like?
Oh, lady.
Anyway, I enjoy my life. How was your week, Jessica?
My week was really fun. I told you I had I created a dance party at my friend's on Friday night. We had a friend back. Okay, so this is a quick little happy story. One of my friends is an ESL teacher and has taught in different countries around the world over the years, right? He is adorable. He's one of those people who has a perpetual smile on his face. He genuinely just like emanates joy and happiness. He's one of those people, right?
Yeah,
Everyone is not like that in this world.
No.
And he just happens to also be adorable on top of it. But we all love him. So his last assignment was in Brazil. And close to when he was going to be coming back to the US, the pandemic started. So you couldn't get in or out of any country. And he got stuck in Brazil. So he met his now husband, who we all got to meet, who is such a delight. Oh my God. Like, he fit in with our crew immediately. And we met them this weekend on Friday night. One of our friends hosted like everybody over for dinner and drinks, and I ended up turning his dining room into a straight up dance hall. And I had a ball, and that's why my voice is still hoarse. Like, I was screaming, clapping. I showed Dana my fingers are literally bruised and like have a blue
please
tinge.
hold your fingers. Please hold your fingers up to the camera, because
I mean,
yep,
I don't
see
think
it?
you can really see.
Yes, you can, you crazy person.
Loud,
You
hard,
beat
and
yourself.
persistent clapping. It's not okay.
You cruised and bruised yourself with your own hands by clapping so hard.
I really
No,
did.
I
I
think it's
was a
amazing.
maniac.
No, I said to you in the green room, and I stand by it. It's because
Yes.
you were out together with your friends. Pandemic has
Yes.
made that very hard, and we're all still very
Yes.
trepidatious.
Yes.
There is a new variant in the country now. Things are loosening up. We're building up tolerance, things like that, but it's still there, right?
Mhm.
So we haven't been seeing each other the way that we used to pre-pandemic, right? There's that. But then also I said to you, you were at your friend's home.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And there was no chance of you getting shot.
Right.
The way that you would, and that we as Americans all do, fear in a public place. So you really, really, truly were able to let
loose.
Hair down. Yes.
Yes.
Because I said to you, and I'll say this, because we got to start. What we are doing is not working. Something has to change. Something has to be different. I said to Jessica, in a situation where I have my son, I would, at this point, this is not how it was when I was young, but were I given the choice to take my child into Target with me or to leave him in my car with the doors locked and a car alarm on while I'm in the store where he's safe and probably isn't going to get shot, I will leave my child in the car before I'll take him in a store right now in America. There's a shooting and a mass shooting every day. And don't complain to me that the definition of mass is just too loose now. No, anything over 2 is mass to me, because we're talking about life. Life. That's why you were able to just be a maniac. You were safe.
Yeah.
And I applaud you for it.
Amazing.
And I am jealous. I would love, my heart wants to go out dancing so bad.
Yes.
I
You got to
love
do
it. I
Or
know,
have a
right?
dance party in your backyard. I don't
Well,
know how your neighbors
when
feel
it
about that.
starts, they don't mind. My neighborhood is a really polite and well-mannered party neighborhood. So
Mm-hmm.
like the people behind us and the people beside us on this side often have birthday parties for their kids. Totally fine. That's in the day on the weekends. Nobody cares, right?
Mm-hmm.
The family next door, very rarely, but sometimes have family get-togethers on a
Sure,
weekend
sure.
night, and they're done before midnight. The houses over there, they always have parties for every holiday, and they hire a full-blown band. I'm telling you,
What?
whoever their tuba player is, I'm obsessed with because y'all know I go
What?
outside. No, y'all know I go outside and pretend I'm at these parties. If there's
Of
music,
course.
I'm at that party. They just don't know it.
Put
So
a chair in your lawn and grab
I just sit,
a.
I go sit out on my back porch and I scroll through my phone and sing and you've been around like that and not the bad and I'm not like that and there ain't no holler back girl on
Oh
my
my
porch.
God.
I am at that party. They have no clue. But them, their band they hire, that tuba player, whew, he ought to be at the
That's
bowl.
amazing.
He should be at the bowl. He is so good.
Maybe he's a part of Mariachi Los Camparos.
I mean, they're phenomenal, whoever they are. But that tuba player,
Yes.
he really hits those low notes. Whoo, whoo,
I
make me
love it.
tingle. Make me tingle. Um, yeah. Why are we talking about my neighborhood parties?
Amazing. I don't know. I will tell you what else I did.
Hmm.
Literally right before we recorded, and I haven't done it in so long, and I don't know why, and I'm gonna try to get back to it at least every other week, hopefully. Alan and I went to the farmer's market, and it was
Oh,
delightful.
lovely,
You
lovely.
cannot beat the produce, period. Like, the vegetables have dirt on them. They were pulled out of the ground that morning, no joke.
Oh, for sure.
So we got amazing veggies. And this is another thing I want to say: support your local farmers anywhere you are. If there's any kind of co op, which a lot of places have in certain states, we had that outside of Atlanta where I was, this amazing place, Harry's Farmers Market, that ended up growing so big. I think it went on the New York Stock Exchange, which is kind of
Oh,
crazy.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's crazy.
go support your local farmers, your little markets, all that, because in addition to that, there's amazing prepared foods. So, like, we got a loaf of sourdough from our favorite baker that we haven't seen in
Oh,
a million years,
nice.
right? And
Hmm.
these people remember us because we used to go weekly. He's like, "What do you want? Pick something. How about the apple turnover?" I'm like, "Okay." And so he gave us
Oh,
that for free. We went to the bagel guy who I love now that every store on Larchmont, by the way, I haven't been to Larchmont in so long. That's one of our streets in Los Angeles.
I
No joke.
have.
More than 50% of the businesses that I've known for over 20 years are gone. And I didn't know
Yeah,
where I'm like, what is any of
I
this?
know, right?
So we got scared for a minute. Alan's like, Sam's is gone. I'm like, no, it isn't. And it's the bagel shop that their entrance is like that big. Okay. It's a
Yes.
tiny little place. He's still there. The guy lit up. He's like, oh my God, how are you? Haven't seen him in I don't know how long. I ordered a half a pound of whitefish, and he goes, I'm going to give you a pound. And when I tell you that he
Aw.
packed the container to the point where like it was bulge, I mean, that was, he didn't have to do that. It was so lovely. But this is what I mean. Like, people remember you, and go support local people and be nice to them. And nobody had to do that. They didn't have to give us
Well,
anything, but they're so happy to see you
I
after
go
this
over
crazy
there.
world we're in.
Yeah. I go over there quite a bit. One of my friends that comes up, he lives down south, a little bit closer
Mm-hmm.
to like Seal Beach area. And he'll
Right.
come up every once in a while. And his favorite place to go is Larchmont, just the area,
Oh, yeah.
that
Mm-hmm.
because that street is real cute, even though it's
Sure.
chaos, because it's cute, everybody's there. But
I know.
what I was going to say is, I go there to meet him, a couple times a
Mm-hmm.
month. I've never been in that bagel place. I'm going to have to ask you because
Yeah,
everything
so
is
great.
so tiny and you just get busy and going. We always go to, he loves to go to the Great White. So we always go there. I'm sure I've walked past it a million
I don't
times.
even know what that is.
Yeah,
And I
see,
think
yeah, I'll look for it.
that,
I'll look for it next
yep.
time I'm there. Very cool.
There's also a brand new donut place that we walked by 3 times. And I was like, I got to get something. And then finally I was like, I don't need to. The guy gave us a sweet we got another sweet from someone else. I'm like, next time. But it's called Holy, Holey,
Mm-hmm.
Grail Donuts.
Mm.
And they had just like really interesting things, and I got the impression some of it is made to order. Like maybe once you get it, if you get like the rose cardamom donut, maybe they then pour something on it and hand it to you, because you had to wait in a line and none of them were
Yeah.
shown. So I was
Yeah.
like,
It was probably prepared in the moment. Is it
yeah.
you that loves Donut Man?
No, I've never had
Oh,
it.
okay, well, I hadn't either. So Dan Tipton, he works on a show called Lone Star 911. He's a
Mm-hmm.
supervisor, a production supervisor. And so his team, their producer, their head boss,
Mm-hmm.
had a wrap dinner because they've finished the season. They're in
Nice.
wrap now. They finished shooting and they're in wrap. So we all, and it was spouses. So a
Mm-hmm.
handful of us and their crew got together for dinner at the producer's house, and somebody brought donuts, and I think they were called Donut Man. Now,
Uh-huh.
Jessica,
Uh-huh.
we have the best. That's actually one thing LA is known for, which is so weird, is donuts.
It's crazy. Yes.
Like back home, we said we had liquor stores and churches on every corner. Out here, I say we have smoke shops and donut places on every
It's
corner.
true.
Anyway, we're talking a lavender donut, a creme brulee donut,
Mm.
a carrot cake
Mm-hmm.
donut, a
Mm-hmm.
some kind of Bavarian, Bulgarian, blah 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 Bulgarian. They
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but the best, maybe the best donut I had ever had.
Ooh. Well, and I beg you, you need to take Henry on a weekend, or yeah, probably on a weekend because it's kind of far to go during the week after school. Donut Friend. They have one
Yeah,
downtown and
I
there's
need
one
to
in
do
Highland
that.
Park. It's vegan. And that's the place that I famously have talked about multiple times on this show, that I argued with them that their donuts weren't vegan because they
Yeah,
were
I
that
need to
good.
go
And I
there.
thought they were fried in lard.
I need to go there. Dan Tipton Dan Tipton and Henry, they had their haircut. They go to the salon
Cute.
together for their haircuts, and Henry often likes to get ice cream after
Mm-hmm.
a haircut. And so
Sure.
they brought me home some vegan what's the place? Handles ice cream. Have you ever
Oh,
had that? It's an old
no.
classic around here. Very, 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 very good.
Nice.
So, y'all, that was the tour of Los Angeles's donuts and ice cream shops. If you ever want to visit, we are not sponsored by a travel agency. We are not making money if you travel here and eat those donuts or ice cream. We will move on.
Mm-hmm. You can just let us know when to meet you. Remember, I do, when again, like I feel like it was during the pandemic. I feel like it was, or something happened. I don't know, something heavy had happened, and you surprised me one day and came by with Dolly Llama, which
Yeah.
is, and that's Dolly Llama, Llama, the miniature waffles with all kinds of dips and toppings.
Yeah. Belgian
That
waffles. They
was
make them right in front of
the
you.
best. That was the best
Yeah.
thing ever. Like I really did almost cry. I was like, oh my god, thank you.
Ah,
What a
well,
treat.
just to throw one back at you, y'all ought to, when I say get yourself a Jessica, I'm not lying, because I was really, really like struggling with Zinnia stuff, and we were really pushing for an Earth Day release, and I was stressed.
Mm.
And this sweet little child over here on the other side of me dropped off a Zinnia congratulations gardener's bag that I've just been using, a coloring book that I needed while a friend called and needed some help, and I just had to calm my mind by coloring. I mean, it was filled.
Mhm.
I can't I'm so annoyed at myself because usually we do this in the morning and I have coffee, a little plant parent coffee, just the cutest little thing. You're just one of the most thoughtful people I've ever met. You're just precious. I'm
Oh,
so lucky.
stop it.
It's true.
Lady,
Thank
right
you.
back at you. My
Mm.
pleasure.
If you
Seriously.
guys want to tell us how great we are, Jessica can let you know how to get a hold of us.
Yeah, right on in if you're not already following us on Facebook and Instagram at the Rants and Raves Podcast. You can find us on TikTok at the Rants and Raves P. We have our own YouTube channel, the Rants and Raves Podcast. You can find both our shorts and our full episodes available for audio or full video through YouTube. You can always send us an email at the Rants and Raves Podcast at gmail.com. And you can go to the contact button on our website, www.therantsandravespodcast.com. Thank you. And wow, I was about to be like, Dana, take it away, but
We just had to take a small break. I had to give Jessica virtual CPR.
I feel like I'm going to start getting so mad from this rant that you really might have to.
Oh no. Oh no.
So this came up the other day. You know, when you just, well, no, you may not know this, but because of this show, constantly I'm like, now this is a rant. Like it'll just like
Yes, of
hit me.
course. Yeah.
I'm staring at a shirt that I just got and I was so annoyed by it. I need to know why. And I feel like this is only really for plus size clothing.
Mm.
Why they have started, this is a bad example because I like the buttons on this shirt. On a shirt that is sleeved more than a short sleeve.
Okay.
When did they start putting a button right in the middle of it so that you have the option to pin it up with that tab? It's like, if I want to roll my shirt sleeves up, then I'm just going to roll my shirt sleeves up. And if I
Yeah.
want them down, then they're down, and that stupid button is just on my elbow or forearm. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. I do
It
know what you're
makes
talking
me
about.
livid.
I also cannot recall a time. I'm willing to be wrong. I mean, you guys can write
Mhm.
in and give me a mindfulness corner. But I can't recall a time I've ever needed, wanted, or used that button.
That's what I'm talking about. And a
Yeah.
lot of shirts, I'm like, this is a great shirt. Not with those buttons.
Well, and the thing is, I feel like the placement of it, if you do use it, it cuts weird on your arm.
Uh-huh.
It's like right here or something. And because we're conditioned to the certain type of clothing, it's either long sleeve or short sleeve, whatever it is,
Yep.
that fabric hitting that particular part of your skin rubs me
Uh-huh.
the wrong way. No pun intended. It is
Thank
uncomfortable. It
you.
feels wrong.
Well,
I'm
this is the
always
second
pulling
part
at
of
it
this
or
rant.
yeah.
Also, and I feel like this, again, the tendency is primarily within plus size clothing. What is with making the freaking short, the sleeve length, 3/4 length? I want it
Right.
to my wrist, or I want it halfway up my arm at least.
Halfway. Yes,
That's
because
it.
I don't want a cap sleeve, and I realize some women are okay with that, but we were abused in our youth.
Okay.
We don't want that, and I guess I haven't hit the I still have a few shits to give. I don't want anyone seeing my bat wings, okay? I don't want them seeing my bat wings. But I also don't want it hitting at Miss Piggy mid forearm length either.
The
And
3/4 length is so unflattering.
it's yes, it's not flattering, it's not comfortable. And here's the thing about plus size clothing or even just larger sizes, okay? We
Mhm.
never get options. It's season by season. This year, all of you guys want to be sleeveless. No, I want the option to have short sleeves, long. I want options. Everybody else has
Hey.
options. Not you. This year, you're only wearing highway cone orange and pastel purple. No, I don't want to wear that. I don't want to look like a pair of 70s curtains, okay? With
Okay.
white flowers and pastel purple shades of flowers and maybe an avocado green splash. That ain't my style. I want options. Not for you. This year, like it goes on. They put us in
It's
these
awful.
boxes and they go, you will only wear this year. We will not
Yes.
give you options. I'm like, really? Because a size 2 can go buy anything they want. Am I wrong?
No. The sleeveless thing, I can't even go there because it's always like that, including in the winter. It's like, oh, to pile on some awful crepey blazer on top of a sleeveless shell. No thanks. I'm not interested, and I don't
No,
wear
because
sleeveless
what if
dress
I want
shirts.
to take that jacket off?
I
I'm
can't.
not comfortable showing my arms. I have a giant scar, y'all. It goes from my elbow all the way up. It's not just because I'm fat. No, I also have a scar. And I'd like to have options to dress my
Mhm.
arm because you try
Yes.
every time you go to the grocery store, hearing someone behind you go, and then they go, "How did you hurt your arm?" That's my life experience. That happens all the time. Anybody out there with a big visible
Oh
scar
my
that's clearly
God.
not deadly, I bet you they'd
Uh-huh.
tell you the same thing. People aren't trying to
Yep.
hurt your feelings, and it doesn't hurt my feelings, but it tells me that it is jarringly shocking.
It's
It
so
needs to be
crazy that
covered.
people say that.
I know. It's the same as people saying to you about your baby, "Oh, babies really
Uh,
shouldn't have a pacifier after 3 months." And you're like, "Who are you?
yeah,
Why
I
are
didn't
you,
ask.
why are you telling?" Exactly. It's the same sort of thing.
It is.
But it's like they get so, like, they have to s they have to go, it's like, "I wonder if she knows she has a scar." Yeah, I'm the one whose bones died and they dug them out of my body. I'm aware it's
Okay.
there because 'cause they've cut it back open 4 times. So, yeah, I know.
Unreal.
I know, it's so
Absolutely
weird.
unreal.
But if I want the option to have something long enough to cover that, great. If I
Mhm.
why are we only allowed 1 style per year? It's either
I'm
sleeveless,
telling you.
3/4, or cap.
But the 3/4, no one ever wants that. You either
Who
want it
wears that?
above your elbow
I
or
guess we
to
sh
your wrist.
I guess we shouldn't say that. There might be some ladies who work in offices that are cold that
Well,
like them.
great. They are hopefully grandmothers and shop at Chico's. I am not either of those things, and I'm not okay with it. And it's gonna stop right now.
I was trying to calm us down because I felt like I got too heated
No,
about
ma'am.
sleeves. Ma'am, I'm 100% in your corner. I mean, honestly, you couldn't find a better
Anyway,
friend.
rant over.
Well, I'm about ready to get us wound up again. Are you ready? This is our
Yep.
rant section, y'all. Believe me, we're going to take a real good cleansing breath here in a few minutes, I promise. But this is one I think literally
Oh,
everybody's going to be like, yes, okay? All of our apps change every few months, just enough time to get used to it. Then, boom, no warning or instructions. Just figure it out. Let me read that again because that's
yep.
no warning, no instructions. Just
Just
figure
figure it
it
out.
out. Insta, TikTok, YouTube, even freaking Waze. Even, let me tell you, because
Mhm.
yes, 100%. Waze just did it. So last night I had 9 pages of
The
dialogue to
goose drank wine,
memorize.
the mama chewed tobacco, and the streetcar line. The line broke, the monkey got choked, and they all went to heaven in a little rowboat. Clap, clap.
I know that
What
song
just
at first.
happened?
At first, I thought you had lost your mind and you were moving to another plane of existence. But then I was like, wait a minute, you know this song.
That just took me back about 35 years, and maybe you should become a hypnotherapist because I don't know where that came from other than my back pocket because I haven't heard or said those words in almost a lifetime.
No, it just tells me that you were so lost in the constant stream of words coming from my mouth, you had to latch onto something. Oh my god. So last night I'm like kind of freaking out because we have puppeteers coming and I'm like, I
Yes.
need to know these lines. And I had put them in the teleprompter and I was like, well, maybe I should start. Listen, let me just cut to the end of that
Mhm.
story for you and tell you that what I chose to do was not the right decision. We made it through. It's fine.
Oh,
Okay. Anyway, I turned
listen.
on.
You live, you learn,
You laugh. I don't
you
remember what's
learn.
next. Anyway, I was going to use my teleprompter. So because
Yeah.
I'm an actor and I listen, I have enough auditions that it makes sense for me to have a teleprompter, okay? I don't want to sound
Why not?
braggy. It's just memorizing at my age has gotten harder.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so I was going to put my scripts in there. I opened up that teleprompter and it said that I had no scripts in, like anything I had done in the past, and it was because they had redone the platform. And I also aligned with, I think, a lot of renewal subscriptions. So I had to renew my subscription,
Ooh.
and then when I opened it back up, completely different interface of everything. The way everything was set up,
I
zero
hate that.
instructions. It took me a good 45 minutes to get everything to where I had it before.
Yeah.
No warning, no instructions, and I had the time. I mean, it was kind of a hassle to me, but I had the time. But I was like, what if I hadn't had the time? What if I had 30 minutes to shoot this thing, get out
Yep.
and get Henry to school before Dan
Yep.
goes to work, whatever it was. And it's the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
thing, like, you only open Waze when you need it. You don't want to sit there and go,
Exactly. You don't
"Ooh, what am I doing?"
and have to reboot
I
your phone and la la la.
100%. I would assume that something we use for this must have updated on you and and drove you crazy. Did that happen?
For our platform,
An
you
app.
mean?
Did you have an issue with an app updating?
No, I don't think so. I
Oh,
mean,
I
I
thought
have in the past, many
oh,
times.
I thought that you had written this into us.
No, you wrote that into us.
See, that's what happened. I must have been exhausted and got so mad because it's happened to me 3 times, Jessica.
I'm
That's your
dying.
Now that you've told me, it would be a normal person who would go, "Oh my god, yes, I forgot. I have zero memory of emailing you that. Zero memory of emailing you that."
But
I
I
was like, "Oh my
totally.
god, Jessica and I are on the same page." No, I wrote that to myself.
Oh, it's amazing.
I'm telling
No,
you,
it's
I
happened to
told you
me a lot.
I'm running on fumes. I told you.
I'm sorry. I was rolling back and forth on my mic cord.
Oh,
Yeah, I go crazy when that stuff happens. I always feel that it happens at the most inopportune times. That yes, I've left something open for
yes.
too long, and then I'm like, I needed to do this before I do that update. Oh, doesn't give you the choice. All right, here we go.
I mean, every little thing, even like if like for what we do a lot of
Mm-hmm.
reposting on social media and stuff. That
Mm-hmm.
one will just all of a sudden update out of the blue and you're like, "Wait, where is everything?" And it's not like
Yes.
a message comes up that goes, "Hey, let's give you a flow chart of how everything works now so that you can
Yes.
get your bearings and move on." No, you have to teach yourself how
Yeah.
their coders decided to change everything, and
I
it
know.
seems like it's always at an opportune time.
Yes, and I think
Ugh.
sometimes it gets quite difficult for people who are elderly in their years
Well,
with apps.
even somebody with ADHD or dyslexia,
Mm-hmm.
I've heard a lot of those
Mm-hmm.
people talking, like, it gets really confusing.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Anyway,
Oh,
hilarious. I
technology.
Technology, you've got me so crazy. I don't remember what kind of emails I sent. Also, who else did I
Yeah.
email at that point? Who else did I email and not remember?
Oh no.
Oh boy. I
And
think
what
we
did you
all
say?
And what did I say? Lord knows. Lord knows Dana's mouth sometimes. If she's not aware what's going on, boy, there's no filter. I have a strict policy of only talking to like you, my family at past 10 p.m. I'm not allowed to comment on social media anymore. I have a curfew.
Actually, very smart. 'Cause I'm telling you, sometimes I will not remember that, and I don't mean like in a incriminating, like bad, horrifying way, but sending a message or whatever, and then
When
not
it's late at night or
when it's
something
late at night or not following through with. It'll be there the next day when I open up the app, but I
and you
didn't
just
send it.
never
I'm
hit
like,
send. Yes, I
yes,
know. Yeah.
or I did, and I don't remember sending it or writing that, and then I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
Well, we all just experienced that with Dana right now.
Ah,
All right, guys. Listen, we got our panties in a wad this week.
we really did. We really did.
You know what though? I'm excited because I feel like one of the staples of our show, if you're OG, is our
Hmm.
cleansing breath. We get out all of
Yes.
our frustration, all of our angst, all of our tight pent up feelings. Take a deep breath
Hmm.
in, try and visualize blowing all of that out, and then we spend the rest of the show filling up with giggles and laughs and goodness and raves and charity organizations we want to talk about and highlight. So, if you're
Indeed.
alone, man, if you're alone, I would be I wish I was there with you and we could scream together. Scream it out if you can. If not, take 2 seconds just to breathe with us. You'll feel better, I promise. All right, let's take
Mhm.
Jessica Young before I don't want to
You want
ruin
me to
my
close my
I
eyes?
want you to close your eyes because I want to feel calm when I open mine. Not that you've been staring at me. Stop it. Stop it with your eye. I can't handle it. You literally look like that terrifying dentist from that horror movie in the early 2000s.
The
What was that?
Dentist with Corbin Burnson?
All right, let's take a deep breath in. Oh my God, your Furby eyeballs. Just either open both of them or none of them. Okay, let's take a deep breath in. And you auditorily came at me with open eyes. I felt the breath like I was on a roller coaster.
I really did.
I look good. Good for you. All right. Should we get into our corners?
Oh, yeah. So our corners are also in a very fiery theme today. Not.
Oh, are they?
I just mean you're going to be real riled up. I know I
Oh,
am.
no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
It's been a while, but this is
Hmm?
a how rude
Ooh.
corner because
Oh, my.
I wanted to possibly call this a weirdo of the week, but you know what? No, somebody who puts themselves on display is more than a weirdo.
Okay.
There's a lot of other implications. So this is from the AP News. This just happened. German court, naked landlord doesn't justify lower rent. Just marinate on that.
I don't want to. Keep going.
A German court said Wednesday that a landlord sunbathing naked in the courtyard of his building wasn't a reason for his tenants to reduce their rental payments.
Okay.
The case involved a building in an upmarket residential district of Frankfurt, which included an office floor rented by a human resources company. The company withheld rent because it objected, among other things, to the landlord's naked sunbathing.
Yeah.
In response, the landlord sued. The Frankfurt State Court rejected the company's reasoning,
Thank you.
finding that the usability of the rented property was not impaired by the plaintiff sunning himself naked in the courtyard. It said in a statement that it couldn't see an inadmissible, deliberately improper effect on the property. Judges were ruling on an appeal against a lower court decision that went in the landlord's favor, and the tenant had only limited success overall. They found that the tenant had been entitled to reduce rental payments for 3 months only because of noisy construction work in the neighborhood. The court said that the spot where the landlord sunbathed could only be seen from the rented office by leaning far out the window. It also said the tenant failed to prove that he took the stairs to the courtyard unclothed. On the contrary, the plaintiff stated, credibly, that he always wore a bathrobe, which he only took off just before the sun lounger.
Now, wait a minute. Do they not have, like, you and I can't go walking down the street naked. Do they not have,
No.
what's that law called? Like, it's not common decency. What's that law?
Indecent
Indecent
exposure?
exposure. Do they not have those laws?
I don't think in Europe.
Well, then I guess
I mean,
there's
it's a
not
lot
much they
different with
can do.
nudity in Europe. It doesn't mean that everybody
Right.
walks down the street naked, but people are a lot freer, and typically
Right.
a lot of women
So I
feel
guess they did
comfortable going
have no,
topless
right. I
at the
guess they do have
beach. At the
no
beach.
no recourse then if they don't have laws like that. But Lord knows I wouldn't want to be seeing the owner of my office building naked while I'm trying to work.
Or anyone. Can you imagine if it's like, Alan's like, where are you going? Oh, I'm just going to go in the courtyard and take off my clothes and just
Yeah,
lay in a
no.
sun chair.
Just
I'm sure
because
the neighbors won't mind.
that's not the agreement that we all publicly have made with each other. So it's gonna be jarring. And also, why are you needing to do that so bad? There's nowhere else you can go. You are
Okay.
trying to poke a bear. You're
Yes.
picking a fight with them.
Exactly.
There's got to be somewhere else you can be. Or wrap your weenie like a corn dog in a washcloth so they don't see it. If you have to be naked, get you
Wear
one
a
of them
Speedo.
Get you one of them Tupperware, those plastic Tupperware elastic things that shrink around whatever size bowl you got. Sack up and then wrap your wing like a corn dog. Everything's covered, and then you can get your son.
A silicone bowl topper.
You know what I'm talking about? They're made by Saran Wrap.
I do. I bought them at IKEA and they don't fit anything, so I find them useless.
Well, they probably would fit a scrotum unless there's issues.
Oh my God.
That is rude. He's just trying to make people mad.
Exactly.
But I guess the court's right. What are they going to do?
Yep.
I don't know. All right. Moving on.
Yes.
Frankfurt. Oh, Frankfurt. Okay. Well, Jessica, I think you know what kind of corner I have.
Do I?
Is it a weirdo of the week?
Oh, I didn't realize.
It's a weirdo of the week.
Stop. No, you literally made this outline. I'm pointing that out right now. So I may have forgotten that I sent an email. You forgot what you just typed. We are even Stevens. Jessica, what kind of corner do I have?
A weirdo of the week. You're weird. You're so very weird. Why must you bring your weirdness here?
All righty. I've got a weirdo of the week. Jessica's added flavor to the name of my story is Snake Eyes. Let's see if it makes any sense. This is from you literally sound like Wolfman Jack right now because you screamed at that party and now you're getting crazy with me.
I know.
Calm yourself.
And by the way, really quick, when I grew up in Atlanta, there was a furniture company. It was like the only local commercial for furniture. And the guy said, "Ask for the Wolfman." And his daughter then came onto the business and her name was Donna. And he'd be like, "Ask for the Wolfman." She'd go, "And Donna."
That's my favorite kind of commercial.
I
will watch those on Instagram. I will scroll through just old local public commercial.
I'm going to send you.
Butt Drugs is one of my favorite.
Atlanta's Wolfman. Butt Drugs.
Oh, you've never seen Butt Drugs?
No.
These two guys are brilliant. They have their own production company and they write for local businesses that don't have a ton of money to have something, and they write songs like jingles. Remember when we were young, commercials had jingles. I'm such a grandma. But they did, and we memorized them.
Of course.
I am stuck on Band-Aid because Band-Aid stuck on me. I mean,
written by Barry Manilow.
Yes. Or how about this one? Kiss a little longer, stay fresh a little longer.
A little longer, hold tight a little longer, longer with Big Red.
Because that
big red refreshment runs right through
it. Through ya. Give your breath long-lasting freshness
with Big Red.
That's what used to happen when we were kids, and it clearly lives in our brains till we die. Okay? That doesn't happen anymore. All right, getting back to it. Dana's gonna edit some of that. This is from Identity Central.
Los Spookies.
Yes, this is written by Los Spookies. Oddity Central is my favorite. We haven't been here for a minute. Man inserts magnets in fingertips to cheat at dice game. Okay, I'm listening. Resourceful. I don't like a cheater. Certainly wouldn't want to put anything under my skin. Let's see what this person's story is. No. A Thai doctor recently shared photos of a patient's hand and the magnetic plates he had embedded in his fingers to help him cheat at a popular dice game without raising suspicion. Dr. Wat Moon of Wiat X-ray Clinic Lab in Chonburi, Thailand, regularly shares photos of his medical cases on social media. I believe I follow a lot of those kinds of accounts. But it was one of his most recent patients that drew unusual levels of attention on Facebook. The Thai doctor posted a couple of photos, one showing 2 black plates and another of the patient's sewn fingers following minor surgery. The photos aren't that impressive, but it was the story behind them that caused the post to go viral. Apparently, one of his patients had magnetic plates embedded in his fingertips for 40 years. Y'all.
What?
40 years to help him cheat at high-low, also known as Sickbo, a popular dice game. I just said 40 years. Quote, you probably won't believe it, but a patient inserted magnets into the fingertips of his left hand, middle, and ring fingers for 40 years. He put them there to play high-low. The Thai doctor explained that the man whose name has not been disclosed, well, yeah, he's still cheating, only came in to have the magnets removed because he had them removed because he needed to board an airplane and he was afraid that the agents would be detected by airport security. His days of sickbo gambling were probably behind him as well, so he decided to visit the clinic and have them removed.
Oh,
quote,
my God.
Quote, he came and asked to have them taken out because he wants to take a flight and he's scared the magnets will set off an alarm at the airport. When I cut open his fingers, I found 2 very tightly embedded magnets. So this game's really popular in East Asian countries. It gives us the how to play the game. I don't think we care. Although the exact cheating method was not disclosed, some Thai news outlets claimed that the man used the magnetic plates in combination with a small magnet in one or multiple die to manipulate the score.
Weird.
That's how it ends for 40 years. And my question is,
what a creep show.
It's a fascinating thing. My question is, did this person put them in themselves? Or did they go and have a doctor do it? Because I would think that would be against some sort. Well, I have no idea. I'm just talking out my butt because I don't know what kind of laws. I just feel like if I went to my doctor and said, will you put these magnets in my fingers? They would tell me no. Don't you think?
I should sure as hell hope so.
Right.
A lot of people do a lot of things these days. I'm serious.
Well,
it's like,
and
what is the cutoff when you tell someone, no, I will not do that?
Because we don't have universal health care and stuff. So there's a little bit of Wild West. But I'm just going to say there's been 2 people recently die from cosmetic surgery procedures because they had too much done. Just in the last week, right? A couple of one guy, I think he was a model and an influencer. I think another girl is an influencer.
Mhm.
Anyway, it's happening. Just love yourself the way you are. Look at this. I have this angry mark right here. Well, the reason it's so deep is because when I was in 3rd grade, a boy that I liked pushed me off of a thing I was sitting on and I cracked my forehead open on a rock. There's nothing I can do about it. That's part of me. Just
Yeah.
love yourselves. Your scars
For
are
real.
reminders of your journey. That I don't love
Mhm.
this, but it's a very special time in my life. That injury is what made me realize I could live through the pain of childbirth and I was ready.
And you did it.
And I did it. Should we get on into the best part of our show?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, as you know, our raves can be anything from, for instance, what we have from a listener that Dana is going to share with us.
Yeah.
It can just be something happy about a friend or something you saw on the news or in your community or that you did yourself, whatever.
Or something you did at your kid's school and you thought it was cool and whatever. We want it all.
Absolutely. Organizations that are giving back, offering services to people at any level to help with this thing we call life, right? So this is something, I talk about this a lot on the show. I do a lot of work with California law enforcement, a lot of which happens to specifically involve domestic violence. It is very, very near and dear to me for a number of reasons. I will be very honest right now. I don't think I've ever mentioned it on the show, and I won't go into detail at this time, but I was in a very toxic, physically abusive relationship when I was in college. So
Mhm.
I myself received help. And so one of the things that when I do this work with the police, it's not only do I love it as an actor and I get to work and get paid as an actor, I feel like I'm giving back and that I am helping people know the right things to do with someone and
What
the
to look
reasons why a
for.
lot of people act the way they do. We
Right.
all, including me, it's like a lot of times before it happens to you or to someone you know and love, we all make assumptions. And one of the worst things I think stigma wise to this day is, well, why don't they just leave?
Why
That's
don't they
always what
leave?
people say. And
Yes.
what they don't understand is it is so complicated. It is such a loaded situation in
Uh-huh.
general. And I always
And
tell people, you need to
I'm sorry, I
understand that
interrupted.
people are being threatened. And that is oftentimes why they're not coming forward. So,
Yes.
yes, please.
And I just wanted to say too, like sometimes they're like, well, why don't they leave? They keep going back. They keep going back. They keep going back. Well, there's reasons behind that, like Jessica just said. But also, I can talk about it now, and I've lightly mentioned it before in years past, but now we're so
Mhm,
far beyond it. My middle sister, was in a domestic
mhm,
violence situation, and none
mhm,
of us saw it coming. They were married. They had been together for
mhm,
a long time. And one day, we don't know why, this was who this person was all along, and they had
mhm,
managed to tamp it down. Anyway, my
mhm,
sister's nose ended up on the left side of her face, and she
mhm.
was unconscious on the floor for we don't know how long.
Yeah.
So sometimes it also comes out of nowhere. So don't ever judge anyone for being
That
afraid, for
and
staying, whatever.
people have a very bad misconception of where and when that happens. Everybody assumes that it's some very grossly inaccurate, stereotypical, oh, that only happens in trailer parks or in certain parts of
No,
town
no.
or with people at a certain demographic level. I'm here to tell you right now that I have seen, listened, and watched case files with doctors and lawyers and politicians and people of prominence that have done the most heinous and horrific things you can
Heinous.
imagine
Well,
to
this person, my sister's husband at the time, her ex, he was a very clean cut, well mannered, nice boy
mhm,
from a big Mormon family. Nobody saw it coming, not even his
yep,
own family.
right.
So I
It's
guess
crazy.
I just interrupted to say we can never judge. We cannot, you cannot, do not do it.
Ever.
Yeah.
And something that I want to say before I read how you can get some resources is something to keep in mind that if you yourself hopefully haven't ever experienced this, and I hope you never do, but if you have a friend or a loved one that is going through this, you can contact this place that I'm about to talk about, but places also in your area. I love that a lot of these sites, if you go to, it says, are you in danger? Or it has it categorized in different ways, or are you a friend? And then it will tell you things that you can hopefully do to help your friend, to encourage the friend, to document for the friend when they
And
maybe aren't able to do so for a number of
and to
reasons.
be safe about it, because please make no mistake, you cannot be the hero that marches through the front door and goes, you're doing
Mm-hmm.
this and it's wrong. Do not do that. It is very dangerous for
Yep.
you, but most of all, it's dangerous for them when you leave. So please
Uh,
do the research.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep. So this is the National Hotline for Domestic Violence, and the website is thehotline.org. And I want to tell you that right when you go on this, it says internet usage can be monitored and it is impossible to erase completely. So everyone should know that first and foremost.
Hmm.
If you're concerned your internet usage might be monitored, call us at 800-799 SAFE 7233.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It pops right up. Very cool.
Learn more about digital security and remember to clear your browser history after visiting this website. click the red X in the upper right corner or escape button on your keyboard twice at any time to leave immediately. So that is there for the person's protection in case they are
So
being
cool.
monitored.
So cool. Yes.
So it says at this time we are experiencing unusually high call chat volume. Wait times to connect with our live advocates may be longer than 15 minutes. We're here 24/7 and truly apologize for the wait. If you are looking for local providers and please search the Get Help section. So I'm not going to dwell on that, but that already makes me really upset, and people should know that it's
That it's
gotten
such a
much
problem.
worse.
Yeah.
It's never not been bad, but again, I know this because I work with it every single month. It is at an epidemic proportion in this country. So the fact that they may not be able to get to people is very
Immediately.
concerning to me.
Yeah.
But I stress this: there are local resources. So I multiple times and again recently have needed to contact one of the people that I've worked with over the years, and I told them where the person was and asked where are local places I can recommend them to. I looked up, I found tons of places online. I'm like, where do you say I should send them? So they offer a whole bunch of services. First of
May I
all,
May I chime in too,
yes,
just because I'm
of
kind of
course.
perusing the website along with you, because
Mm-hmm.
that concerns me too for both reasons that they
Right.
have such a high volume because so much is happening and they don't have enough people to help. So like Jessica said, there are a lot of tools on this website, and so I went to
Mm-hmm.
some of them, and let me just give you an idea because like some of this I hadn't even thought of. Creating a safety plan. So you can click on that and they
Mm-hmm.
give you an interactive guide on how to create your own safety plan for you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They also have an interactive internet safety guidelines. Okay. To go over what they mentioned when you first got in there. They
Mm-hmm.
also have a tab that is for supporting your children with resources
Mm-hmm.
and plans and things like that. And then lastly, they have pet safety. People
Yes.
worry that they're going to retaliate against their pets, and they will,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, go through this website if this is something you need or have a friend that needs it. They are giving you tools. I hate that you might have to wait, but there's other things that you can be doing
Mm-hmm.
in between as well.
Absolutely. And so a place that I recommended to a friend immediately within the call, they set up gave her a number to call to book counseling services. They also immediately offered legal help and how to get help with getting a TPO or EPO, depending on where you live, an emergency protective order or temporary protective order.
Mhm.
They offer all kinds of stuff. Also, the national hotline offers deaf services. That's huge. People forget stuff like that. That's somebody that
Yes.
can't necessarily pick up the phone to call
Yes.
and speak. There are different services for the deaf, and they also have Native American services.
Okay.
So because there's also whole different things dealing with what goes on reservations and things like
And
that.
what the law is able to do, and
Yes.
probably also some cultural things that that particular group would be really really good at helping with. That's really cool.
Yes. So please, if you need help, please reach out. Honestly, God forbid anyone here listening needs help. If you do, please reach out, and I promise I will find a place for you locally, for you to go to through the people that I work with. It, I, all I can say is I was looking into this over the last couple of days because of some things that have happened this week with someone close to me, and I am considering becoming an advocate. I have to see what the time commitment is because I have to be honest. Like if I didn't work, I'd be like, yeah, I'll do it weekly. I'll do it for you full time.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
have that kind of time, but if I know that I can dedicate a block of hours, one day a week or something, I feel kind of like called to it in a way. And I can't believe I'm saying that. Maybe that's a weird word, but
No.
um, I
No, it's
I would
heavy on
like
your
to
heart.
continue to help people and give back in that way. So if you need help, please reach out. Reach out to me. Reach out to someone, and please uh, know that you are not alone. And it is very important to do things in a specific way for your safety.
Absolutely.
And
When
yeah.
you go to the place that on that website that has a toolkit to give you some things, the first thing in bold block letters it says right underneath the list of the menu is "You are not alone." So please don't
Mm-hmm.
forget that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jessica.
Yes, very important.
So, my rave this week is from a listener. It's about supportive managers. This is straight from the listener. We like we said, we always want to support you guys. We always want to shout out what made you feel good, share it with everybody we can. So, I'm just going to go
Mm-hmm.
ahead and read this. I love it. I know that I'm probably one of the few people that actually has a manager that I adore and appreciate. I've worked at this same company for almost 8 years. I've been through probably 8 to 12 different managers during my time through multiple departments. When I got into engineering, I had a manager that I was fine with, but he never really understood my job because technically my job wasn't well defined yet. About 6 months into my position, I had to change managers again. Luckily for me, this manager has forever been my favorite. He's of my generation, so he gets me, even if his brain isn't the same. I had him for about a year before I got a new manager, and my favorite manager became my skip level manager. I was on the edge of quitting my job because I disliked this new manager so much. Recently, she was let go from the company, and we're now back under my favorite manager. Just in the last few months, my entire mood has changed about work, and while things are more stressful, I no longer feel like I'm alone. So, big thanks to all the great, supportive, understanding managers out there. Keep communicating with your team and treat them like adults that you respect because you should anyway. I love that. I love the
I
shout
love it.
out. I love the shout out to the manager who's good. I love,
Totally.
I love, yeah, you should anyway. But everybody knows what this person is talking about, right?
Yes.
Because that old cliche saying, shit runs downhill. It's true. The person at the top can really set the tone. And if you have somebody
100%.
that cares about you as a human being, you know what? You're going to be happier at work. Like they said, it could be stressful, but you know
Yep.
that you're cared for and you're appreciated and you're respected. That's kindness.
Yes.
That's kindness. And it's not that hard. It's not,
Right.
my Zinnia episode today was teaching children about kindness. It doesn't have to be a big gesture,
Yeah,
right? It's just being
exactly.
compassionate and caring about others. It's
Mm-hmm.
as easy as seeing someone in a coffee line that has a pretty sweater on and you saying, "Hey, I love that sweater." And then Dana
Yes.
feels instantly 10 times better and feels like she can get through the rest of her day just because someone was nice. But that's how
Exactly.
powerful it is.
Yes.
The smallest of things, you may think, it's not that big a deal. Yes, it is because
Mm-hmm.
kindness is important. That makes it a big deal. And that's what this
It
manager
really
did.
does.
That's what this manager did. This manager is kind. And you know what? You're going to get better work from your workers. And listen, they said they're
Oh,
engineers. That's stressful.
100%.
They're engineers. That's stressful
Exactly.
enough already. Can we please be
I
on the same
know.
team? I love that, man. Good. My husband, Dan Tipton, is in a managerial position. And
Mm-hmm.
I see and I hear things and I'm like, he's such a great manager. He never
Yeah.
demeans his
He's
underlings.
a
What do you call those?
professional.
Yes. Why did I say underlings? I've never worked in a professional capacity other than acting, so I don't know the lingo. But
Oh
the people
my
that work
God.
the people that work
Hilarious.
under them, he's never taking anything out on them. And in fact, he is their protector. When everything starts
Yep.
coming down, it stops with him. He does not
Yep.
blame his team. He takes that heat. That's a manager that cares about their employees. And as a result, his people work really hard for him
Yeah.
and they
Totally.
love him and they feel safe. And that's what this
Mm-hmm.
letter is. That's exactly what this letter was about. I love it. Thank you for writing
Yes.
that in. I love sharing stuff like that
Ab-
because if you're a
mm-hmm.
manager and you haven't been aware of what your tone is because we all get life,
Mm-hmm.
just take a second. It doesn't have to be a big gesture.
Yep.
Hey, I really appreciate what you did last week on those Parker files. Did that sound
Mm-hmm.
Did that sound professional?
Yeah.
Is that Park
The
on the
Parker
Parker
Files.
on the Parker Files? Appreciate
The
that.
Peter Parker Files?
Yep. I love me some Spider-Man. No, but for real, it takes very little.
It really does.
Thank you for sending that to us. I love it.
Yes.
It's Jessica.
Dana.
I think that's our show.
I think it is.
Oh my goodness. You want to tell everybody how to get a hold of us?
Sure. Please find us, follow us, like us, chat with us on Instagram and Facebook at the Rants and Raves Podcast, on TikTok at the Rants and Raves P, on YouTube, the Rants and Raves Podcast. You can send us a direct email at the Rants and Raves Podcast at gmail.com, or go to our website, hit the contact button, www.therantsandravespodcast.com. Thank you, Dana.
Thank you. I just wanted to mention real quick. Well, first of all, is there anything I think you saw something, you've done some
We'll
things.
save that for next time because that can be a whole different discussion. I will tell you the new replacement because you guys know for weeks I was obsessed with the British Bake Off. I have a new British replacement competition show. It's called Glow Up. It's a makeup show. I'm obsessed. Please, if you're looking for something just to, again, I like shows that are not showing about the drama behind the scenes. I don't want that. I want to see, here's the challenge. Let's see what you do with these ingredients or these set of materials or this time frame and your brain. Period.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it.
I love that. I'm trying to think if I started anything new. I feel like I did, but I can't remember it, so maybe I didn't. However, I keep hearing, I've heard this several times, Dead Ringers on Amazon Prime.
Oh.
Rachel Weisz.
I don't know about that.
Rachel Weisz plays two characters, twins. She plays both roles. I hear it's phenomenal. I don't know.
Okay, sure.
I feel like if it keeps, where there's smoke, there's fire, y'all. Something's hot.
For real,
hot.
though.
Keeps coming up. Jessica, when's the coronation?
Oh, the royal coronation? I'm not sure.
The royal family. Can you look it up? I have a question for you. So instead of a point to ponder, I guess this is kind of pondering. I get a little bit, I'm not obsessed with the royal family, but there is something about my historical fiction obsession that does make me kind of peek over and watch every once in a while.
It's May 6th.
Okay, so it's very, very soon. So a lot of stuff has been popping up in my feed. I have a question for you. Do you know what the royal, what do you call, we call it last name, they call it surname, right? We're American, so we say last name.
I guess, but you mean like what is the name of the royal family?
Yeah, their last name.
Last name, Windsor.
Okay. Yes, but it's a little bit of a trick question. Did you know that?
No.
They actually don't have last names. And in fact, before King Richard the something that I can't remember because half the time I don't remember my own name, that king decided they would only be known by first names. Okay, King Richard, King Henry, whatever, by the houses or whatever. And then I want to say in the 50s, around the time that Queen Elizabeth was coming, like maybe a generation or two before her, her ancestor declared that yes, they would go by first names, Queen Elizabeth, but that in the case that any royal needed a last name, because you have to have a last name for like passports and things like that, right?
Sure.
In the case that they needed it, they chose to go with Windsor. It's actually a hyphenate. There's a couple of other names I can't remember. But they say in documentation, in the need of a surname, use Windsor, blah blah. But actually speaking, they do not have last names.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I read that in 2 or 3 articles because it seemed crazy to me. So I was like, I'm going to try and, so if I need a mindfulness corner, please let me know because y'all know I'm fascinated with this stuff. Y'all talk about it for way too long. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting because for some reason I was sitting there, they were talking about the coronation and they were like, King Charles. And I was like, what's their last name? And then when I saw Windsor, I was like, yeah, but then I found that fact that technically they don't really have last names.
Indeed.
Pretty cool. All right, that's all I got for you.
I love it. Well, we'll see you next week, everybody.
We'll see you then. All right, I love you, Jessica. Thank you for your patience and also for your flexibility on all of this.
Oh, pish
also,
posh.
Real quick shout out too. I said this to you in our private chat, but I want to shout it from the mountaintops. You're getting so amazing with social media. Like, you're doing things I don't know how to do. I'm just so proud of you. Like, I feel so lucky. I'm going to be learning from Jessica soon.
No, I told you thanks for pushing me to do it because like I said, I just didn't want to. I'm like, I don't want to learn another thing. And you're like, well, if you want to keep going into the future, you're going to have to. And you're right.
True.
I'm serious. You're 100% right.
Well, you're running with it, and it's really, really cool.
Well, thank you,
and it's
my
also,
friend.
I really appreciate it as well. It's really cool, and I appreciate it. So I just wanted to say that.
You're very kind.
Love ya, and we love you guys too. Thank you so much to all our listeners as well. I know we say it from time to time, but you guys are the best, and we'll be back next week.
Indeed.
Bye.